Your headlights cut through the thick Louisiana night on Interstate 10. Rain is pouring down, turning the highway into a black mirror. One moment you're behind the wheel, the next, totally out of control. The tires hydroplane, your car veers hard to the right, and the guardrail that should be there is just gone. You brace for impact, but instead of the screech of metal on metal, it's air. Then there's a huge splash. Cold, dark water rushes in, a presence that climbs up your legs and chills you to the bone. This is a nightmare scenario for any driver. Panic sets in almost instantly. The inside lights flicker and die, plunging you into total darkness. The water is rising fast, pressing against the doors, trapping you inside a steel coffin that is quickly sinking into the murky depths. You fumble for the seatbelt release. Your fingers feel clumsy. Outside, the only sounds are the gurgle of your car disappearing beneath the murky water and the chirping of unseen insects in the swamp. But you are not alone in this water. Something is watching. Something ancient and powerful. In the waters of Louisiana, from the smallest ditch to the widest bayou, a hidden danger lurks just beneath the surface, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Seriously. Any body of water in this state, no matter how small or insignificant it may seem, can be home to an alligator. These are not just creatures of the deep swamp. They are opportunistic survivors that have adapted to live alongside humans. The roadside ditch you pass every day, the culvert under the highway, the retention pond in a suburban neighborhood are all potential habitats. When a car crash shatters the quiet of the night and introduces a struggling victim into their territory, their primal instincts can take over with devastating speed and force. This is a world where the rules of the road end abruptly at the water's edge. Here, you are no longer a driver, you are the potential prey. The shock of the crash is only the beginning of your ordeal. Now, you must face a new and terrifying challenge, surviving the environment you have been thrown into. The darkness hides everything, but also the predators that thrive within it. Understanding this threat is step one. This is real life. It's important to be prepared. Interstate 10 in Jefferson Parish is a major artery, a wide road of concrete carrying thousands of cars a day. A 40-year-old man named Victor Rivas was pushing his Toyota Supra to its limits, driving recklessly and weaving through slower traffic. His engine sounded like a high-pitched scream. For Victor, the road was his playground, and other cars were just obstacles. He was being fueled by too much to drink and the need for speed. The moment it happened was a blur of physics and bad judgment. A sudden maneuver, a slight overcorrection, and the laws of traction simply gave up. The Supra's tires broke free from the pavement, the car fishtailed wildly. Victor became a passenger on a terrifying ride he could not stop. The car sliced across the lanes, a speeding bullet toward the soft shoulder of the road. There was a huge hole in the guardrail, and then the Supra launched off the embankment, sailing through the humid evening air. Gravity took hold and pulled it down. The impact was a violent splash. The car slammed into the murky water of a deep roadside canal, a body of water most drivers treat as scenery. The nose dug into the soft, muddy bottom of the water, and the vehicle cartwheeled and landed upside down with a terrible crunch. Inside the cockpit, Victor was trapped, harnessed by his seatbelt, as swamp water rapidly filled the small space. Primal panic started to take hold. With fumbling, desperate fingers, he found the seatbelt release buckle. Clicking it open, he felt relief, his head now fully submerged in the foul-smelling swamp water. He pushed himself up, finding a precious, shrinking pocket of air. He had to get out, and he had to get out now. With one final kick, he slammed his feet against the glass, and it gave way, shattering into 1,000 pieces that swirled around him. He pushed through the jagged opening, glass tearing at his clothes and skin. He was out of the car and bloody, but not safe yet. As his eyes adjusted, 2 small bumps broke the water, catching the highway light. They were eyes. An alligator drawn by the splash was targeting him. The alligator attacked viciously, thrashing and biting both his arms. Rivas managed to escape, but believe it or not, in the end, he only had minor bite wounds to his arms. A drone team eventually tracked him down and arrested him. This was his second DUI. Okay, back to our original scenario. You have survived the crash, you have escaped the sinking car, and now you are in the water. The first step is the hardest. That is to stay calm. Unbuckle your seatbelt immediately. Focus on the window. Roll it down or use the power switch if it still works. If it doesn't, break the glass. Use your feet or a hard object. Aim for the corner of the window, it's weakest there. Once the window is open or broken, get out. Do not wait for the car to fill with water to equalize pressure. That is a myth and wastes precious seconds and can drown you. Exit through the window quickly. You are now in alligator territory. Splashing is a dinner bell. Push off from the vehicle and swim low and steady toward the nearest shore. Use a calm, efficient stroke like the breaststroke to create the least disturbance on the surface. If attacked, you want to inflict pain on sensitive spots like the eyes. Jam your thumbs and fingers into the eyes. Target the tip of the snout. Punch or hit it with any object. Fight for your life with everything you have. This thing wants you dead. Once free or on shore, get to higher ground immediately. Move away from the water's edge. Don't stop to assess your injuries at the waterline. Get to the road or pavement and call for help. If injured, apply pressure to bleeding wounds. Get medical attention as soon as possible. You survived the crash and the water. Now you must survive the aftermath. The most important survival technique is avoidance. The best way to survive a swamp crash is to never have one in the first place. Slow down, especially at night or in bad weather. Put your phone away and pay attention. A text message is not worth driving off the interstate into the alligators' world. Be aware of the conditions. If heavy rain or fog is forecast, consider delaying your trip. If you find yourself driving in these conditions, slow down. By knowing what to do, how to escape your car, how to move through the water, and how to fight back, you have taken control. Appreciate the wild beauty of Louisiana, but never forget the power that lies in wait just off the highway. So stay alert, drive with respect, and remember, it's always time to travel.